Nick Hawkins outside the London Stadium, West Ham fan TV. Brian, point was fair in the end?
Yeah, listen, I'm happy with that. I respect the point. For the neutral, it was a terrible game, but it was actually a game of chess for the way I looked at it. Brighton come here and they've basically found a way to play with their second string. They played a 4-3-1-2 effectively, and they had Bonetto playing as a 10. And because of that, where they didn't have their normal conventional wingers, it meant that they wanted to play through us, through the middle, which kind of suited us. We were able to kind of block that off in the first half. And, you know, we lacked, with the players we were missing, we lacked cutting edge. This is definitely a game if we had any wing play, even if Bowen played consistently on the right, and even if we had one of Kudos or Paqueta, this is a game we definitely could have won with the personnel that was out there. But if you look at it on the balance of play, I think Brighton basically dominated the second half, and that's basically because they made one tactical change which turned the whole game around. Yeah. And literally what they've done is that instead of playing with the number 10 and the 2 up front, they dropped Pedro back with Bonetto, which effectively had like 2 10s and Welbeck in the middle. Just Pedro coming back that little 5 yards, it gave Alvarez a bit too much to do, who actually was our best player, by the way. Alvarez, you know, defensive DM was playmaker at sometimes, but just that little tactical change by them just gave them the triangles that they like to play, because they didn't have no pace, but because they're so good with the ball. They are the best in the league for me from playing out for the back, because they don't always play out from the back if they need to, but they always like move their shape and stuff. It's really interesting to watch live. I think for us, if you look at the positives, you got to remember we you know, our second string are not as good. We know that they're getting some minutes out there. If you told me at the beginning of the season we're going to take 4 points off Brighton at the beginning of the season, I'll take that. If you're going to take,
well, not only that, the period that we've just had. If you turn around and said if you're going to play Man United, Arsenal, and Brighton, and you're going to take 7 points, you'd bite their hand off, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, and it just puts us in a nice position. Obviously, if Brighton won, they would have overtaken us. So from that perspective, it's good. It gives a couple of the guys a bit more minutes on the pitch. Even Obama coming on gives him a bit more minutes. I think when it comes to the fringe players, look, I don't want to throw shade or criticise anyone, because I think it's a day where the team as a whole, they dug in. And as I said, the second string players maybe lacked a little bit of confidence, and they played safe because they wanted that rhythm. But there were some people around me calling for, say, like Ben Rama to be moved in the middle and stuff like that, which for me is not the thing. I think he probably had the better of the game out of him and Fornells, who were both fringe players. So he was unlucky to come off. I think the thing is with Cornet, people were calling for him too, which I think actually this was a game that would have been ideal for him, because we needed an outball. You saw when Bowen went to the right, we had an outball. I kind of felt for Obama, because it probably wasn't the game for him. We needed sort of that wing width, but at the same time, the positives for me, as I said, the 4 points, the 4th clean sheet, additional players getting minutes, retaining 6th place. I'm all right with that. And look, we've got players to come back as well. Hopefully Antonio will be back soon. I now see when, like, you know, we've had like years and years of us as fans sort of calling for maybe some of the fringe players to either get more minutes or play. If Moyes don't fancy them, I'm now beginning to... my mindset is now that, you know what, if you don't fancy them, then it's the right play. Because when we see some of these players get the time on the pitch, they don't do anything to retain a start for me. So for us calling for Cornet and all that, we're not going to see them players unless it's like 5-10 minute cameos, which, you know, I think we do need to dip into the transfer window, and that's the only way where we can get a bit of variation. But for me, I respect the point, and it's 4 points. We retain that 6th place, and take that all day long.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.